throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the February 6th, the magnificent Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at 877-927-6648. Now, if you have a question, but you can't call in, well, you can always send me an email. For that, send that to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magnificent Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, all the U.S. indices trading to the south, at least those that we track. Dow's down 74, S&P's down 18, Nasdaq's down 58, Russell's down 21. Gold is up $5, trading at 18.81, with silver being back 6 pennies. She's trading out at 22.34. Light sweet crude is off 68 cents. Natural gas is off, it's basically flat out there. 30-year Treasury's down nearly 1 point, trading out at 129.07. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, to the upside, O'Reilly Automotive, $14, a little over 1.7%. Life Storage, $14, nearly 13%. Catalent Inc. is up $11 or 20%. Regeneron is up $10 and change, 1 3/10%. Northrop Grumman is up 10.75. That's about 2.5% to the upside. To the downside, Restoration Hardware, ticker symbol there, RH, up $25 and change, 7.5%. 4% for Pool Corporation, that's down $16. ServiceNow, 3% or $14.80. 2% for Asmil Holdings, that's $14. And Semler Scientific down 11, that's off 28%. So that one is getting a little stinger in the shorts, so to speak. So where do we want to begin? Let's go take a look at the. Let's take a look at this. We in the 1 o'clock, the 11 a.m. update. We took a look at the ES and the NQ, both which were attempting or are attempting to form new profiles. Here are those charts right now. So in the upper left-hand corner, you can see the ES mini. Does have that A to B equals CD pattern, has not generated the bearish reversal candle, so we do not have a confirmed sell the D point pattern, but we do have a new profile that is attempting to form. This profile will be confirmed or unconfirmed at midnight, at 6:01 this evening. What we do is we use the data we have available to us. That data says resistance, where sellers are located, they are at 41.68. Where buyers are located, between the range of 40.27 and 40.67. If you take a look at the NQ on a daily time frame, it has a new profile attempting to form, and that profile is below price, or at least is below price at the moment. That's a bullish signal. The NQ has a TD9 count top. That makes the high of Thursday. That high on Thursday was 12,949.75. The price closes above that, indicates that signal, tells you about a move to the upside. Whereas a move to the downside, currently, if this profile holds, you have support, 3 different support levels, 12,048, 12,083 and 11,975. So valid tops inside of the NQ, but a profile that's forming or potentially forming below price, that's a bullish message. If you look at the Dow just consolidated with inside its profiles. That's between 33,716, 34,179. What's not shown on this chart is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that took place here on December the 13th. So you do have a top in the Dow equity future contract. You do have a valid top in the NQ. What we don't have are valid tops for the ES and the Russell 2000. So what's that mean, Stevie? Well, I don't know, but let's go take a look at the Russell 2000. You can see the one A to B equals CD pattern that was attained last Thursday. No bearish reversal candle. Last Friday was an inside bar. That usually means that price moves in the same direction once a little retracement is done. And here, suggesting that same message is a new profile that is forming below price. The profile shows that support should be between 1923 and 1936 on a move lower, with the ultimate level of support being the bottom of that profile at 1896. Now, if you wrote those numbers down on your pad of paper, they may not stick. Again, we're using an advanced detection tool that I have for these profiles. So we see the profiles before they've actually physically taken hold. Sometimes they do take hold, sometimes they don't. Some of it just depends on the day's trading. But right now we use the information that we have available to us. Let's go take a look at the charts and try to break them down just a tad when it comes to the equity futures. To do that, let's go take a look at the NQ. For that, we're going to go ahead and change our screens out here. In the upper left-hand corner, you will see the daily time frame chart for the NQ. I'm going to expand it out just so we each have a better visual of it. What you will see here is that it formed a TD9 count top last Thursday. It was the bar following bar number 9. Again, on Friday's action, it was an inside bar. Usually means that price will move in the same direction. We know about that new profile that we saw in the black background charts. I do not have that same advanced detection tool for the white background charts. What the white background charts suggest, because of a valid top, is that price should pull back to test its oscillator and change line, which is green. If price were to pull back, test and reject that level, that's at 12,265 at the moment, that would be your buy point. That would be a buy the dip point, so to speak. What happens if price closes below that oscillator and change line? Well, I have to say it depends on where it's trading in relationship to its profiles out there. So we have to really wait till this evening for those profiles to form. But then from there, we can make a good assessment as to what that might mean. Price is moving lower today. So what does that mean, Steve-O? Well, that's an excellent question, and I'm glad that you asked that, whoever you are. The reason is because if we take a look at this chart here, this chart for the daily time frame tracks consecutive closes and closes either higher or lower. The consecutive higher closes are on the black digits out there. The lower closes, the red digits. What you'll notice here, what I'd like you to notice, is coming off of the December low. The December low took place on December 28th. That was a 2-bar, what we'll call a knee-jerk reaction. Price moved higher after that. Well, then the very next trading session, one after that, we had a lower move. That was 2 consecutive bars. Then we had another 2 consecutive bars in between the time period of January 18th to the 19th. We had another 2 consecutive bar retracement, the 24th through the 25th out there. And then what do we have today? Well, today could be, don't know because the day's not over, but it's likely to be a second consecutive lower close. So that begs the question. And we got these new profiles and prices above the profile level. The price stays about 12,408. What do you think the odds are that the NQ moves higher tomorrow? I'd have to say pretty good odds. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. You got the Dow down 74, S&P's up 18, NASDAQ 100 down 57. We're really taking a look and discussing the NQ. We took a look at the daily time frame chart. We looked at the daily time frame chart, both from the position of its TD9 count top, a price trade above profile levels, the mere fact that this could be day number 2 of a consecutive move lower. We've seen 2-bar moves to the downside result in moves higher the very next trading session. So be on the lookout for that. As we look at the NQ's chart in more detail, and we look to the 5-hour time frame chart, that says 300 minutes, by the way, what we can see here is price has pulled back to support. That's the profile support level. 12,502 is that key area to watch. Turns out the 4-hour chart is doing the same thing. Its support level also at the 12,502 mark out there. You've got a TD9 count bottom on the 2-hour chart. Price consolidated with inside that's profile. That profile is between 12,472 and that support and resistance. It's a bearish structured profile on that 2-hour chart. The bearish structured resistance level between 12,561 and 12,472 out there. But you do have a valid bottom. Only a close below the low of 12,457.25 would negate that signal. 60-minute chart also has a TD9 count bottom. Price is taking on its TD9 count breakdown resistance area. That's at 12,582.25. You can see we hit that during the last half hour. Or the last hour, that is. We're taking on this hour as well. A close above that would be a positive. A positive meaning that we should see a further rally. 30-minute time frame chart, confirmed Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, price above profiles. That suggests a further rally. And actually, I see the same kind of signals on the 15-minute and 10-minute time frames out there. So I'd be watching 12,582.25. If price closes above that level, that would suggest that the NQ is likely to rally further out there. Otherwise, that's resistance, and we just simply have to go from there. So that's what it looks like when we take a look at the NQ. Let's do this here. Let's go. We've had 2 requests, only 2 requests. And of course, I would love to hear from you folks. 877-927-6648. You can send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Maybe I don't have all the requests because everybody's watching the rest of the Pebble Beach Pro-Am tournament out there. They teed off just about 20 minutes ago. 8 a.m. in the morning out there at Pebble Beach. I believe it was in the 40s with a little bit of wind. Now, I don't know if you've played golf in the 40s, but I have, and I played it out at Pebble Beach and Cypress Point and other areas out there, and it's brutal. It's brutal. Beautiful, absolutely. But 40 degrees, man, it is just that's brutal. In any event, so Dan is watching the tournament. You'll have to keep me updated here. I've got it in the background, but it's kind of hard to multitask and watch that. No reason for us to keep looking at the NQ charts out here. So what I was going to do is go take a look at the two requests by Duncan, Steve inside our Tigers Den. But folks, I would love to hear from you as well. Either you can call us or you can send me an email. Send that to Steve at TFNN.com. And of course, if you're in our Tigers Den, well, any ping will do. So let's get over and take a look at those two requests out there. The first one from Steve was to take a look at AMD. And as we take a look at AMD, what we have out here, let me open this up. It looks like we have a confirmed sell the D point pattern, and we do. So Friday's trading session, Steve, was a bearish shooting star candle. And that confirmed the 1-to-1 A to B, or a little bit over 1-to-1, A to B equals CD to the upside. Now, what should take place here with Amazon, again, we're looking at the daily time frame chart. What should take place here is price pulling back towards its oscillator and change line. That's that green line out there, currently printed at 80.02. Now, that's what the daily time frame says. Just curious, what's the 30-minute chart showing us? The 30-minute chart shows us a Rhodes Momentum Indicator and TD9 count top, and that has led now to a TD9 count bottom. If price closes below 83.92, now this is a 30-minute time frame chart, on a 30-minute bar, then that suggests that price will move lower. Otherwise, we should see AMD move up to the 86.94-ish area out there. So that's what's coming from the 30-minute chart. So the daily says, hey, I want to move lower. 30-minute chart says, well, you may want to move lower, but first we probably want to move higher, at least on an intraday basis. Let's go take a look at the other charts out here for AMD. On a weekly basis, what we have here is an A to B equals CD to the upside. That requires a bearish reversal candle to confirm an intermediate term, a Gartley sell pattern. On AMD, on the monthly time frame chart, you've got a nice TD9 count bottom. Price is trading back inside its profile. It should, Duncan, go ahead and make a move towards 91.63. So we got different messages here. The weekly says, yeah, I can still keep moving higher. I've got that A to B equals CD pattern. Nice wide-ranging bar from last week out there. The monthly chart says, yeah, I want to get up to 91.63. And the daily chart says, well, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to negate my topping pattern. That was the sell, the D point, and that took place with that bearish shooting star candle. So a close above 88.80, all the eights out there, that would negate that signal and suggest a strong move higher. So I hope that helps you out. Let's take a quick peek here at AMD, see what we've got consecutive-wise. So this is actually the weekly time frame chart that I've got on my screen. Last week being week number 2. So wouldn't be a surprise. Now we can see here that we saw AMD move higher for 5 consecutive weeks and then 6 consecutive weeks. That's closes above the prior week's close out there. So you're only in bar 2. So this has got potential, but we do have to recognize 2 bar moves to the upside, are these knee-jerk reactions. So you could be expecting or anticipating a 2 bar move to the downside out there. So that's the weekly time frame. Curious, what does the daily time frame show us? I don't know, but we're going to find out. And on a daily time frame, looks like this will be bar number 2 to the downside. So coming off of the recent lows out here, we've seen a lot of 2 bar, well, a couple, 3 2 bar moves. The first one being December 28th, the second one being January 3rd, and the third one being January 19th. So you could get another one today, a 2 bar move today. And based upon that, AMD is suggesting that it too would want to at least bounce or move higher off of whatever the low of today is. So that's what I see when I take a look at the AMD chart. Steve, I hope that helps you out. If not, please write back. Let me know what else I can provide for you. Your next request was to take a look at artificial intelligence out here. And that ticker symbol is AI. As we look at AI, on Friday, a nice big wide-ranging bar that actually produced a TD9 count top. So what you want to watch here, Duncan, is you want to watch Friday's high. Friday's high is 28.48. If price were to close above that, and it very well could today, it negates that sell pattern, negates that signal, and talks about a strong upward momentum move on the daily time frame. Well, upward momentum move to where, Steve-O? Excellent question, and I'm referring to Steve-O, Duncan Steve-O. Where that could move to, or likely to move to, if we look at the weekly time frame chart out here, weekly time frame chart shows a TD9 count breakdown level at the 32.36 area. So that's where price is likely headed to. If price can close above that, there's no topping signal on the weekly time frame, but if price can close above that, that suggests a strong move to the upside out there as a key level of resistance will have failed. You've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom on the monthly time frame. We had a TD9 count bottom on the daily time frame. We had a wave number 7 bottom for a while. We get really the Rhodes Momentum Indicator pattern on the weekly time frame. 30-minute chart here for artificial intelligence. It's attempting to form some type of short-term top. It has Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that is present, but price remains above its green oscillator change line and the top of its 30-minute profile. That says conditions here are neutral at best, neutral to bullish. So to summarize AI for you, everything looks pretty good except for that TD9 count top on the daily time frame. So today's price action should provide you with some good information, Steve-O. And if we do get a close below last Friday's high, that would suggest to me at least another pullback of maybe a day or two out here. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got the Dow trading down 48 points. The S&P's up 11. The NASDAQ 100 is down 0.2% or 25 points out there. So let's go take. We do have a couple of requests that came in. Here we've got 3. The first 2 from Dan inside the Tiger. Actually, all 3 from the Tiger's Den. The first one from Dan wants to take a look at ticker symbol ABUS, A-Bus, so to speak. And A-Bus right now is trading out at $2.94. As far as patterns that we have out here, not really much of anything. Let me open this up, take a look back here. So there's an A to B equals CD pattern. And the B point here had volume of 1.5 million shares. When it was passed, That's for 715, 613, 660. So we don't have out here is volume to the upside to confirm that pattern. So let's hold off on the A to B equals CD. I mean, it's in place out here. It's just not some type of confirmation. Here, there's even if I look at the small A to B equals CD, it had volume on the trading day of the 13th, day of 668. So when that was passed, 613, 715. Okay, so that's a small A to B equals CD, and it looks like this. We'll go ahead and paint in the A to B line, and I'll just move that then over to the C level. Now we can get a price projection out here. That price projection is going to come in somewhere near, don't use this as an exact, but it's pretty close to the 337-ish area out there. So you do have a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside. So what you're looking for here, Dan, is you're looking for price to hold support. And support would be the bottom of its profile. That support level, let me give that to you. The profile areas are 286 at the bottom, 293 in the center, 3 buckaroonies at the top. So close above $3, that would be a beautiful thing as long as price doesn't. Now, even if price closes below the bottom of its profile, it doesn't negate the A to B equals CD pattern, but it does get a bit more complicated out there. So I'd be watching for that. At least that's what the daily time frame charts are suggesting to you and I. Let's take a look at the other charts, the weekly chart. On a weekly chart, price closed above the top of, or its TD9 count breakdown level, both last week and the week before. So this is truly a breakout message from that standpoint. What about volume? Well, as the B point was passed, that B point from a weekly standpoint had 7.3 million shares. When it was passed, it was 3.1, less than half. A couple weeks ago, it was 3.1 as well. So we don't have the conviction in the A to B equals CD pattern. We do have the pattern out there. And so I'd stick with it until we see some levels of support fail. On a monthly time frame, you've got a nice TD9 count bottom. Price should target over time $4.01. That's its TD9 count breakdown level. So that's what I see when I take a look at ABUS out here. Lastly, let's just take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart. There's nothing here other than seeing the sideways consolidation. So I don't really see a whole lot in it other than that right there. So I hope that helps you out, Dan, with ticker symbol ABUS. You also had mentioned in that same link, ticker symbol here is ARWR. Somehow the two are similar or what have you, I guess, but they're not similar with regard to chart patterns, not even close. So here, what do we have? We have a TD9 count top that eventually took price below the bottom of its bullish structured profile. Those of you that are long-time listeners or even a short-time listener that maybe has heard me say this being that when you close below a profile, especially a bullish structured profile, which it was out there on the daily time frame, Dan, that tip and at the center of that profile. That was 37.20. Well, price did bounce up to that level. It bounced up, tested, rejected that on January 13th, January 17th, January 18th. It did it again on Friday. So we know that that is really acting as good counter trend resistance. This is the daily time frame for ARWR. Odds favor, doesn't guarantee, but odds favor that price will pull back to test that swing point from January 9th. Now, if price can get down, test $31, do that on less than 3.5 million shares, then and reject that by closing above that high, then you would have a test and rejection of a swing point on lighter volume. If you can't bust them down, price would try to bust them to the upside. On a weekly time frame, price is just consolidating with inside its profile. The same thing can be said on the monthly basis out there. So it really gets back to that daily chart. Now, let's take a quick peek at a 30-minute chart here, Dan. See what kind of signal we have from the short-term charts. We've got a Rhodes momentum indicator top. I see a wave number 7 top. That's letter G. That's led to this move lower. And I see a TD 9-count bottom. So the daily time frame suggests heading lower over time. The 30-minute chart says, yeah, I'm fine with that, but I just formed a nice TD 9-count bottom, and I should bounce. Bounce to where, Steve-O? Well, Dan, that would be the red and green oscillator and change line. It changed color, so price should make its way up towards that line. The line is currently printed at 35.41. I'm not saying that's the price point that it will hit because those numbers will change, but price should target that oscillator and change line. A test and rejection of that on a 30-minute basis, that could be signaling the end of the move higher and preparing for that move lower that the daily time frame is suggesting that it should do. So I hope that helps you out, Dan, with both ARWR and ABUS out there. And don't worry, would be happy to take even further requests should you have them. I only have one more request that I see at the moment. That's coming from S&P in the Tiger's Den. And S&P wants to take a look at Amazon. AMZN is the ticker symbol. Amazon is testing its green oscillator and change line, first level of support. So in the case of Amazon, this forms a TD9 count top. It does it on Thursday. It completes the pattern on Friday. Price on Friday pulls back to the center of a bearish structured profile that had formed. Price is trading below. I'm just looking to make sure. Let me just change screens here real quickly because I lost the number AMD. I'd just like to make sure that I'm clear and articulate and accurate. So there is a new profile that's attempting to form inside of Amazon. So that profile goes like this, so I can get it up on my screen out here. So the bottom of the profile is 73.72. Write that down. 75.41 is the center, which is very close to 70, and 77.10 is the top of the profile. So that's a fairly equally distributed profile. Now that profile, even though I'm using my advanced tool out there, it should take place. I find them to be, especially on a daily chart out there, it should take place. So that says that if price closes below, I don't know, go look at that green oscillator and change line. Green oscillator and change line is currently 101.91. It closed below 101.91. No, that can't be. Oh, I'm looking at AMD. Sorry. Don't get rid of those profiles I gave you. That was AMD. You're right, Mr. Bill. Thank you. Sorry, AMZN. Sorry. Okay, so now let me see if there's a new profile. So there is a profile that formed on Friday. That's a profile that price has gotten back inside. It is bearish in structure. When that profile did form, and that was on Thursday of last week, that profile formed below price. Once you get back inside there, then anything can happen. Now, if price can hold 102.76, 102.76 is the center of the bullish structured profile, and it can hold its green oscillator and change line. That green oscillator and change line is currently printed out at 101.91, so let's make that the number, 101.70. If price holds that level, then Amazon would be neutral. Neutral because you have the topping pattern at TD9 count with price pulling back and testing a key level of support. If price closes below that oscillator and change line, then Mr. Bill and S&P specifically, it opens up the door for price to pull back and test the bottom of that profile, and then it's at 96.02. If price were to close below that, then the next stop would be 91.52. So you got to watch today's action inside of Amazon. What I can share with you, as prices test that daily green oscillator and change line, the 30-minute time frame chart says, I am ready to roll to the upside, with 104.26 being its price target. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So we were taking at Amazon before we went to a break. I mentioned as we were going to break, the 30-minute chart is saying I want to bounce. And it's saying that because this formed on a 30-minute basis a Rhodes momentum indicator top as well as a TD9 count top. And then at the takes price back to breakout support. Breakout support can be a bottom even if it's not a pattern that forms there. It's better when a pattern does form at a breakout level. And it turns out it was a TD9 count pattern. Now, it looks like it may have also been a buy the D point. Let's just measure the A to B level and just move that over to the C point. So that's what that looks like. And see no, that did not complete out there. And actually I have to use the same candle. But what you do, doesn't matter whether we have two completions of a bottom or not. Now, you do have that hammer candle on the 30-minute basis, so that will help you out, S&P. If you're to see a close below that, by the way, is 102.52. If price closed below 102.52, that would be telling you about a strong momentum move to the downside, 97.53 being the likely price target. At this stage here, I'd expect instead a move up towards that red oscillator and change line, which changed colors recently. So that's the analysis on S&P, on Amazon, AMZN, S&P. I hope that helps you out, but if not, please write back. Let me know what additional information you need, and we'll make sure that we get that to you. There is another request that came in, this one coming in from ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, inside our Tiger's Den. And ELO wants to take a look at Restoration Hardware. So if we take a look at Restoration Hardware, we have an A to B equals CD pattern. Let me just see if that was a confirmed one, meaning the price passed the B point, which was January 12th. The high there was $323.95, but more so, the volume was 1.06 million. Then last week, that was passed with 1.5 million. So there's a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside inside of Restoration Hardware. The pattern would look like this. We're going to form the A to B point. Now we're just simply going to move that to the C point, just so I can give you a rough estimate of where that price target would be. That price target could or should take us up towards 364. Price did gap down this morning, but that A to B equals CD pattern really hasn't completed, so I can't really call that a confirmation of a sell the D point pattern. But nonetheless, when we take a look at Restoration Hardware, what we do see is prices trading with inside its profile. And therefore, price could be targeting the 310 level. Restoration Hardware actually is forming a new daily profile. So write this down on your pad of paper, ELO. The bottom of the profile is 308.28. That's your new support level. The center is at 313.08. And that's also another possible support level, which it's hit. And then the top is at 317.89. So it is a slightly bullish structured profile. So what I would be watching here, the key area to watch inside of Restoration Hardware now, is going to be the 308.12 28 area. If price closes below that, then what you could or should see would be a run back to its most recent swing point. That's the swing point from the trading day of January 20th. That's the swing point right here. And that swing point had volume on that day of 576,000. If price begins to pull back to that area, watch the volume. If it's more than 576,000, then it's likely to at least test that bottom, if not take that out. When I take a look at restoration, so on the daily time frame, here's how we're going to sum it. You've got a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside with price consolidating with inside its new profile. That would be between the range of 308.28 to the bottom, 317.89 to the top. The weekly time frame chart shows us what? Shows us price trading above profiles, above its oscillator and change line, above a swing point from back here in August of 2022. There was volume there of 3 million shares. That was passed with 4 million shares. So Restoration Hardware looks pretty good on the weekly time frame. The issue that Restoration Hardware has, now that we finally got to it, now that my eyes got over there, ELO, is the green oscillator and change line on the monthly chart. So this has a nice TD9 count bottom. Price gets back to that oscillator and change line. What you're really looking for, granted it is only the 6, what you're looking for is a close above that level. That level is presently 345.06. Now, even if it closes above that, does it mean you're out of the woods? It does not. The woods happen to have some resistance at 381.98. That's the top of that monthly profile. But if price did close above that, it would be signaling to you and I over time that it wants to make a run for 699.14. One step at a time. We're not at that step right now, but we are at the step of trying to understand whether new profile levels will hold that support for Restoration Hardware. So I hope that helps you out, ELO. Thank you very much for the request. I don't see anything else inside the Tiger's Den. Just check the email here, see if we've got anything. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Here we go. We do have one. This one coming from Douglas. Doug says, may I have the TAS profiles for AEHR? You absolutely can. So AEHR, we're going to get that fired up on our screen. AEHR, my apology, I don't recall what that instrument is. Turns out it is AEHR Test Systems. Always trying to trick me. So AEHR, you specifically wanted TAS profiles. So the daily profiles like that go like this. The top of the box is at 36.92. The bottom is at 31.85. It is a slightly bearish structured profile, meaning the center is closer in proximity to the top than it is to the bottom. And that center profile level is at 34.89. I would say that if price closes below 34.89, it increases the odds of a move back to 31.85 out there. I don't see a topping pattern per se. So you just got a good old-fashioned daily consolidation with inside profile. On the weekly time frame, no topping signal there either. Price is above resistance. Its profile levels. 25.45 is the top. That's probably the only number you need there. 12.19 is the top for the monthly, which price is above. Now, on a monthly basis, with regard to AEHR, this is, or it appears that it will form bar number 8 of a TD9 count. So that says that you could get a longer-term top, monthly top, between the month of February and April, because that top can come on the bar following bar number 9. So just pay attention to it. No reason to take any action out there. If we look at a 30-minute time frame chart for AEHR, let's pull this over here. Let's see what it has to say. This, again, we're going to short-term or ultra-short-term. This does what? It forms a wave number 7 bottom. Letter G out here. That took place at about 2:30 in the afternoon. That was on February the 1st. Price may have moved higher. So this could be, well, so it's moving into a swing point, 30-minute swing point, that is, that has volume of 173,000 shares. Last 30 minutes was 65. So I don't know what this one is going to be because we still have about 11 minutes left in the session. So, but you're moving up towards a swing point high with lighter volume. So that's 100% move. Maybe that says, hey, I'm not getting ready to break out, just more sideways to consolidation. So AEHR, you've got the profile levels that I think you need. Douglas, if there's anything else that you want, please write back to me and I will be happy to get that to you. Let me see if there's anything else that came in via email out there. That's at steve@tfnn.com. And the answer is there was not. So sorry about that. Well, not really sorry, but it is what it is. Stevie, can we take a look at UNG? That is Mike, and inside the Tiger's Den. We can, Mike, look at it, but what you really want to look at is natural gas. So let me see if I can find those natural gas charts. We'll go take a look at UNG for you, but it's really I'm assuming you are asking about it in order to potentially take a long position. If that's the case, you just have to figure out what future contract is with inside UNG. I believe it's March, but you need to check on that first. Maybe you can check on that during the break while I get the chart set up for it. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Justin Rhodes looked like he's got his stuff together today. So just birdie to look like 13 out there. Where's he at? Yeah, birdie 13. So he's got that difficult 17 and 18. But looks like the wind is down. So I don't know if you've ever played out there. Those of you that have played out at either Pebble or Cypress Point, Pebble's got that par 3 17. That's kind of like they're famous, and at Cypress it's 16. But both kind of similar there, and that not really. Actually, Cypress, you're taking the ball over the water, and you don't have to do that at Pebble. But those holes can be. I have played at Cypress. I have played where. And I hit a pretty long ball where I could not even get to the green with my driver. And when I was with 3 other guys, we sat back there. We went through a couple dozen balls, literally went through a couple dozen balls just trying to reach the green because the wind was blowing at us, which I thought was what the wind conditions were supposed to be at Pebble Beach out there. So I can turn that into a 250, 60-yard hole easily. In any event, let's go back to the charts out here. Let's take a look at, the request was to take a look at UNG, but what we're really looking at here is natural gas. Because in order to take a long trade in that or a short trade in that, you really need to understand the underlying instrument. I believe it is March. I didn't go check that out. The March contract that would be exclusively making up the UNG contract. But you want to take a look at that. Here, we're taking a look at the charts. And the charts show that today is likely to form bar number 7 of a TD9 count. But there's a large A to B equals CD pattern. I was just quickly looking at the intraday chart, starting with the 5-hour chart. It does show a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom, but no level of resistance has been broken through. On the 240-minute chart, the same pattern, where resistance is at the top of its profile, 246. I'd label 2.463 as a very key level of resistance to be watching to see what happens when price approaches that level out there. So I don't see a bottom. I'm going to switch over to our black background charts out here. So if you give me just a moment, we'll see the large A to B equals CD patterns that are in play out here. And what we're really waiting for is the cavalry. Oh, I didn't realize we were out of time. Shoot. So a bullish reversal candle is really what you're looking for. My apology for bloviating and not actually, Mike, going to the UNG charts for you. But now is not the time to take that long trade. Not the way that I see it at this moment. Folks, stay tuned. Great programming. I'll see you tomorrow on Terrific Tuesday. Please have a magical and magnificent Monday.